Rishi Sunak's hopes of becoming the next Tory Prime Minister are fading away as the crisis of cost of living and energy prices continues to get worse. Another day and another crisis for the government, this time the Treasury and the good cop of the government, the Chancellor, who until now has been giving out free stuff, free money to everybody like Santa. Everybody loved it, and everybody said, well, we have to do it because it's been a problem since 2020 and, this is the right thing to do. And the Labour Party are also pretending to be morally and economically competent, as if they were in charge, things would have been worse. It would have definitely been worse. Also, it's not a 2020 problem. We have been having this government since 2010. And between 2010 and 2020, we have not had a economic or whatever consequences of a pandemic in this country. And even before that, if you want to talk about the Labour side and the new Labour, pluralites, it's still as bad as each other. So this is a situation where deep down, the economic foundation of this country, the financial system, the banking system is so flawed that, of course, the whole thing is imploding and it's going to build up and it's going to get even worse. This is not a new problem. Do not just blame it on public health in China, because this is a long-term issue and both parties are as bad as each other, unless you actually have a sound leader being in charge and try to do a proper shake-up, like what Reagan did in America, what Margaret Thatcher did in the UK at the time. Otherwise, the whole thing is just completely out of control. And now the Chancellor's come out to say, well, we are going to be supporting the families. Well, the increase that we're going to have is over 50%, 54% in terms of the energy prices. And that's about £2,000 almost. It's going to hit us. And they're going to come out and say, well, we're going to give you about £350 support. We're going to take your money and then we're going to give it back to you. Okay.
The actions I'm announcing today will provide to the vast majority of households just over half of that amount. £350.
All right, so £350. The reality is £150 of it is going to be the discount on council tax, and it's going to be from April onwards. The rest of it, the £200, is going to be over the next 5 years. Now, how on earth do you expect families and the people who Margaret Thatcher, Theresa May used to call jams, just about managing, to wait for that long? Now, Rishi Sunak has been at least transparent and honest. I give him that. He's come out to say there's no short-term solution. He's come out to say that this is the best we can do. There have been others also who have provided with new alternative options in terms of medium term. There is a long-term solution, and the whole thing you need to do is proper shake-up economically and in terms of the way the state works. Medium term, you can actually look at levies and, well, the reversing levies and, for example, the green levies and the tax, they could get rid of those, the whole net zero agenda, and also do proper tax cuts instead of increasing taxes, for example, national insurance, taking people's money and then putting it in the treasury and then give it some of it back. The whole thing has become so bureaucratic and nonsensical, and you wonder why people have no faith in even Rishi Sunak, because it's still part of the same team. And they say, some people would say, well, Boris Johnson is a letdown, so let's replace him with Rishi Sunak. How? Why? It's the same policy, it's the same team, unless he was an outsider and he was criticizing the government from the outside, the backbenchers, and say that I have a sound policy program, then you could actually trust him. Right now, his image is completely tainted by being part of Downing Street, and that's why in the actual Conservative Home opinion poll, which is kind of the most trusted in terms of the internal Tory membership opinion and surveys, is not doing well anymore. At the top, we now have Ben Wallace and Liz Truss and those guys being more popular than Rishi Sunak. This is not just a political problem; it's a deep down societal problem that's basically completely hitting the economy, and it's going to be, the consequences will be long term. You raise taxes, it's going to hit everyone now. You borrow money and you print money, called quantitative easing, then it's going to hit all our children in the future, because none of them can be able to buy a house, none of them can be able to even have pensions, and even right now you're going after pensioners. It's not looking good, and it's not really Tory bashing. It's a completely state bashing. Because if the Labour Party were in charge, the same problem would have happened. Probably worse. Definitely worse. So this is simply about raising awareness about how the whole system is corrupt and we need to do something about it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. We're going to come back with more updates for you guys throughout the evening. Thanks again for watching. I'm Tousi, and we are the media.